What's up with Dogecoin?
You want to take it? Go for it.
I don't want to touch it, but you go.
So I'm a sports guy, and I hang out. I'm a big Utah Utes fan, and their rival is BYU Cougars. And I didn't know what Dogecoin was, but I was on the message board. I think it was Tuesday with all this going on in GameStop, and someone wrote, Elon Musk cryptocurrency, buy some Dogecoin. And so I went and bought $500 at 0.8 of a penny just for shits and giggles. And then, but I didn't even think about it, didn't even look at it. And then by Thursday, it was at like 2 cents a share. I'm like, the heck is going on with this? And so I'm like, all right, let's have some fun. And I bought 150,000 shares, thinking, all right, I mean, it's such a small amount of money. If this does do anything, you start thinking in your head, if this goes to 10 cents, look how much I made, or $1, if it turns into Litecoin, holy cow, or Ethereum, like you're one of those millionaire guys,
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought 150,000 shares, and the same day,
like nothing.
Yeah, it was like $3,000, but a little under $3,000. But in 2 hours, I doubled my money. I'm like, all right, I'm cashing out what I bought in, and I'll leave the rest in. And it just starts going off, and so then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy $1,000 more. This could really go off, and then that went all the way up to 8 cents a share. So should have sold there before it dropped again. Then it dropped back down, I think, early this morning to about 2.5, 3 cents a share. And I think it's probably currently, so now it's at 3.5. So I'm still very significantly up. But I actually think it's a good buy. I think this is going to be a hot week for this stupid thing because of the meme factor. If Elon Musk tweets it again, everyone saw what I don't know if everyone saw, but Elon Musk just tweeted Bitcoin Friday morning. And it went up from 30,800 to 37,900 in like
Elon
4 hours.
Really promote Dogecoin? Because if you look at his tweet, he didn't actually say anything about Dogecoin. He just posted a picture of a dog.
Yeah, so he posted a picture of the coin, and I guess everyone just took that as it. Again, I saw it on a sports board, and it worked out, and I've made some good money on it. I've done crypto for 3 or 4 years. I got in on the early rush and got lucky, and then hadn't been in it, just kind of dabbled here and there. And then I actually took a bunch of money out of stocks when the pandemic happened, thinking, hey, a lot of these things are going to tank, physical stores, retail store stuff. I had money in that way. I took out of everything. I had Macy's, some different things. I had some decent money in Disney because I knew Disney parks were going to be hurting for a while. And so I took that out, and I bought, basically I bought a Bitcoin, 100 Litecoin, and like 20 Ethereum in April, thinking, hey, if this thing hits, all these crazy people are going to think money's not worth it anymore. They're going to switch over to.
Let's just appreciate this Doge graph for a minute. Like, this is freaking ridiculous. Like, here it is, like under a penny for like forever, and all of a sudden, this ridiculous spike where it goes all the way up to 7 cents, which doesn't sound like much, but that's a huge move, right? And it kind of fell off, but still like way above where it was trading. And I don't know. I'm curious what Michael thinks, because I'm kind of a pessimist on this. I feel like there's no short selling here, right? I mean, this is just pure like people.
Well, you can trade it into other currencies.
Go ahead, Michael.
It's just, you can trade it into other currencies. It's just, so the interesting thing about like coins is that, there's hundreds of them. I mean, there's so many. There's Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin and DOT and Cordova and Dogecoin, and like there's a billion of them, right? So you can trade them against other coins and make money just like a foreign exchange, just like Forex, USD versus the pound kind of thing. But yeah, like, I don't know if you know the history of this coin, but in the early days when Bitcoin was created and became popular, and then people started realizing that like they can make their own coins and make it be whatever it wants to be, they created this as a meme. So this is literally a meme coin, and it's the reason why it's called Dogecoin is because the Doge meme, like Doge, is a meme. You can just Google it. But it's quite literally exactly that. It's a meme coin. So if you go to my screen, I have my screen shared on this graph. This is the like multi-year graph of Doge. Of Dogecoin. It does this regularly. When famous people tweet out that they're going to buy it, it spikes in crazy value, and then every time it falls back into its fair market value, which is next to nothing. So I would advise taking your money as quick as possible, because this has happened many, many times in the history of Dogecoin.
Yeah, and here's the Doge, just because in case you know this ridiculous thing. But yeah, that's an interesting graph. So Paul, what do you think? You gonna make sure you get your money out in time?
I mean, I'm playing on house money. This week, I think, is the week it's going to have another couple spikes, but I doubt if I'll own any after Friday afternoon. But I do think with all the internet chatter, there's going to be a lot of internet chatter on everything this week. And if you go online and you Twitter and you look up hashtags, it's still running pretty high on that kind of stuff. So I do think you're going to see a couple more spikes this week. It might get up to as high as 10 cents, at some point this week. But I don't think it's going to go much more than that. And like I said, I'll get out of it at some point this week when I feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's a good way to handle it. If you're already in at such a low figure, then that's a great way to handle it. As far as getting in now, I wouldn't advise getting in at this point, because who knows when it's going to tank.
It's a crazy concept. And I admit I don't know much about crypto. I'm not trying to pretend like I know anything, but the fact is, like, anybody can I'm going to invent my own currency, and I'm going to start trading it, right? Like, I mean, some things that have traction, some history, like Bitcoin and like Ethereum, like, okay, you can actually redeem those and sell them for real stuff. But I just have a hard time thinking like anybody can spin up their own currency and call it worth something, right? And if they get the Redditors to climb aboard, I guess it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, some coins have like their own like specific things that make them special. The thing that's special about Bitcoin is that it's a limited supply, right? Just like gold. That's why it's always compared to gold, is because there are a finite number of Bitcoins that can ever be created. So theoretically, it should hit a value that is eventually fair market and kind of be like a sustainable sort of thing that we can compare other currencies to. So that's what makes Bitcoin kind of special. And what makes Ethereum special is that it can programmatically be tied to anything. So in theory, you can make transactions in Ethereum that can be tied to all kinds of different things and eliminate a whole bunch of hands that typically are in the process of exchanging funds. So like, closing on a house is a very common example with Ethereum. There are a lot of hands that are involved in closing on a house. And Ethereum has the ability to cut out a large number of those people that really don't have any part in the process other than exchanging money and taking a little bit off the top. So that's one of the reasons why Ethereum is so popular, is because it can be used for so many things. It's just very flexible.
There's a lot of talk of Ethereum being the big year for Ethereum. If you look for some of the big advisors for crypto, and even some of the big investment firms, different things, they're talking about Ethereum going to, some say as high as $20,000, $30,000 a share this year, but a lot of talk of it realistically hitting $5,000, $8,000 at some point in 2021.
Yeah, I'm hanging on to mine.
Yeah, I mean, Ethereum, you can see the graph here. We've had a huge run up in the past, few months, but at the same time, it was there before, right? And so, is it going to drop back down again, or is it the sky the limit here? So you guys seem to be pretty bullish on it, and I hope so, because I just bought some myself this past week.
I'm definitely bullish.
Thing about Bitcoin, besides the fact that everybody knows it and like this is the all-time graph and it huge value, is it's going to reduce the amount that it produces in the next year, Michael.
I don't know the actual date.
They're going to cut off what I was reading the other day. They were going to cut off the production. It's going to cut off in half. So when the miners currently make, something like, 12, it's going to go on to 6 or something like that. So the supply is going to hit this cliff. So that really,
I believe every